All right, today we're diving into something pretty fascinating about Social Security, the do-over. Yeah, you heard that right. If you've already started collecting your benefits, but you're having some second thoughts, you might actually have a second chance to seriously boost your payments for the rest of your life. So let's get into it. So, have you ever looked at your Social Security check and just had that little pang of doubt thinking, did I claim this too early? Well, it's such a common feeling it actually has a name, claimer's remorse. And trust me, if you've ever had that thought, you are definitely not alone.
And we're talking about a huge group of people. Get this, about a quarter of all Americans who take their Social Security as soon as they can, right at age 62, eventually regret it. I mean, it can feel like the right move at the time, but that one decision can really shape your finances for decades to come.
Okay, so here's the core of the problem, right? Claiming early locks you into a smaller monthly check, and it's permanent. Most people just assume that's it. Decision's made, it's irreversible. But what if there was a do-over button? Because as it turns out, the Social Security Administration actually has one, well, two actually.
So the Social Security Administration actually gives you two different ways to get a do-over. The first one is called application withdrawal. I want you to think of this as a complete reset button, but you have to use it within the first 12 months. The second option is benefit suspension. This is more like a pause button that helps you boost your future benefits, but you have to be past your full retirement age. Let's break down exactly how each one works.
Okay, let's jump into the first and honestly the most powerful option. We're calling it the full reset. And I mean full reset. This isn't just hitting pause. This is a complete, total withdrawal of your Social Security application.
So, a withdrawal doesn't just stop your benefits. It legally erases your claim. I mean, as far as the Social Security Administration is concerned, it's like you never even applied in the first place. This completely wipes the slate clean, giving you a totally fresh start to apply again later for a much bigger benefit.
And when I say the difference can be massive, I am not kidding. Just think about this. A benefit you claim at age 70 can be up to 77% higher than that same benefit claimed at 62. By withdrawing your application, you put yourself right back on track to earn those valuable delayed retirement credits, and that maximizes your income for life.
But of course, a tool this powerful comes with some very strict, non-negotiable rules. First, the clock is ticking. You have a super tight window. You have to file for withdrawal within 12 months of getting approved for benefits. Second, and this is a big one, you have to repay every single dollar that you and your family received. And third, you only get one shot at this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No second chances on your second chance.
And look, this isn't some secret loophole we're talking about. It's an official process. To get the ball rolling, you have to fill out this form right here. It's called the SSA-521. It's your formal, legally binding request to basically cancel out your original claim.
Okay, but what if you're already past that 12-month window? Are you just out of luck? Nope, there's a second option. It's not a full reset. Think of it more like a mid-course correction. It's called benefit suspension.
So instead of a complete do-over, suspension is exactly what it sounds like. You're just hitting pause. You choose to stop your monthly payments, and in return, your future benefit amount starts to grow again. This is a great option for folks who are a little further along but still want to find a way to boost their long-term income.
So how does this actually work? Well, the main rule is you have to have reached your full retirement age, which for most people now is around age 67. And here's the huge advantage. You don't have to repay anything, not a dime. Your payments just stop. And for every single year you wait, you earn a guaranteed 8% boost. Then, once you hit age 70, your new, bigger payments just start up again automatically.
And don't sleep on the potential gain here. It is still really significant. I mean, think about it. If you suspend your benefits right when you hit your full retirement age, let's say it's 67, and you wait until you're 70 to turn them back on, you can bump up your monthly check by a guaranteed 24%. That is a serious raise for the rest of your life.
Okay, so we've laid out the options, but now we need to talk about the biggest hurdle, especially for that withdrawal strategy, and that's the repayment. Let's really dig into what that involves because there can be some tricky tax stuff that comes up.
So when they say you have to repay all benefits, what does that really mean? It sounds simple, but trust me, it covers a whole lot more than just the cash that actually showed up in your bank account.
Okay, so your total repayment bill includes, first, the gross amount of your benefits, that's before any deductions. It also includes any money your spouse or kids received based on your work record. And this part is absolutely key. It even includes the money that was withheld for your Medicare Part B premiums and any federal income taxes that were taken out.
All of that has to go back to the Social Security Administration.
All right, this leads to a really good but kind of tricky question. You're thinking, wait a minute, I already paid income tax on that money last year. How on earth do I get that tax money back now that I'm repaying it?
Thankfully, you're not the first person to ask this, and the tax code actually has a solution. It's called IRC Section 1341, or the Claim of Right Rule. It's designed for this exact situation. Basically, as long as your repayment is more than $3,000, this rule is what lets you get back the taxes you already paid. You can take it as either a deduction or a credit when you file your taxes for the year you made the repayment.
All right, so we've covered the how. Now it's time for the million-dollar question. Should you do it? Figuring out if a withdrawal or a suspension actually makes financial sense for you, well, that takes a little bit of math. Let's walk through the key idea you need to understand.
The most important concept here is something called the break-even age. So what is that? It's the exact age when the extra cash you're getting from your new, higher benefit finally adds up and covers all the money you either paid back or just didn't receive. To put it simply, it's the age you need to reach for this whole do-over strategy to have been a winning move. Here, let's look at a really simple example to see how this works. Let's say you had to repay $24,000 in benefits. But in return, your new monthly check is $500 bigger than your old one. To find your break-even point, you just divide the $24,000 by that $500 a month increase, and you get 48 months. So it'll take you 4 years of getting that higher check to make back the money you repaid.
Now, in the real world, with all the complex factors, most studies show that the typical break-even age falls somewhere between 77 and 81. So when you get right down to it, the decision is basically a bet on how long you think you're going to live. If you've got good reason to believe you'll live well past 81, then this do-over strategy could really pay off with a much, much higher lifetime benefit. Okay, let's wrap this all up by comparing the two paths side by side. You've got withdrawal. That's your big reset button. You've only got 12 months to use it, you have to repay everything, but it gives you the biggest possible gain. It's really for fixing a decision you made very recently. Then you've got suspension. That's your pause button. You can only do it after your full retirement age. There's no repayment needed, and you get a smaller but still pretty great boost. This is your go-to for a mid-course correction later on.
So it turns out the decision to claim Social Security doesn't always have to be final. Just knowing that you might have a reset or a pause button in your back pocket really changes the whole equation, doesn't it? So the question I want to leave you with is this. If you had a second chance, how would it change your financial future?